Tired of your car insurance rate going up, even with a clean driving record? You're not alone. That's why there's Jerry, your proactive insurance assistant. Jerry compares rates side by side from over 50 top insurers and helps you switch with ease. Jerry even tracks market rates and alerts you when it's best to shop. No spam calls, no hidden fees. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Switch with confidence. Download the Jerry app or visit jerry.ai/Libsyn today. That's JERRY.ai/LIBSYN.
Hello everyone and welcome back to The Wait podcast, where we learn in English poco a poco or podcast by podcast. Today we're going to play Pasapalabra, one of my favorite games to play in class. It's a little bit different. I have never watched the TV show Pasapalabra, so I'm going to put in an Aurelia twist, an Aurelia flavor on the podcast today with a game. But we are going to focus on objects in the house. Okay, are you ready? Let's play.
Bienvenido al podcast de The Way. Si quieres aprender inglés y hablar con confianza, estás en el sitio correcto. Hemos ayudado a miles de personas como tú a mejorar su inglés y alcanzar sus objetivos. Visita nuestra web theway.es para conocer más sobre nuestros cursos online desde A2 hasta C1 y descubre cómo podemos ayudarte a avanzar en tu aprendizaje. Además, si necesitas una certificación oficial, también ofrecemos la opción de realizar el examen Language Pair cómodamente desde casa.
Right, so some of the letters I'm going to give you 2 words, majority 1 word, okay? But sometimes 2 words because it's quite nice to practice different vocabulary in the house, right? Okay, let's get started. Let's start with A. Now, I have 2 for A. The first one is something that you use to wake up in the morning. Something that you use to wake up in the morning, right? You could say alarm or alarm clock. Now, in the past, we had an actual little machine, a little device, and it's not really a machine, it's more like an object, a device, a gadget is the better word. That was an actual alarm clock. Sometimes it was connected to like a radio, but I think in 2026, the majority of people are using their phone. I use the alarm clock on my phone. And an alarm clock, let me see if I can get my accent correct. Despertador. Right. Much easier in English. Alarm clock. I have another word for A, and this is like a mini sofa. Right? A mini sofa for one individual. Do you know what it is? It's called an armchair. Sillón. An armchair. Okay, let's go with B. Now, B is pretty easy, but like bastante fácil. But I want to give you a piece of advice, un consejito, right? In English, when we say furniture, mueble, we talk about furniture in general as incontable, all right? So if you want to talk about one mueble, si quieres hablar de un mueble, una mueble, bueno, un mueble, then we would say a piece, un trozo, un pieza, una pieza of furniture, right? So let's go with B, keeping in mind that we need to say furniture in general or a piece of furniture. So B is a piece of furniture where you sleep. Where you sleep. And that is very easy. It's a bed, una cama. Right, okay. 2 for C. Tenemos 2 para la letra C, la C. Okay? Number 1. It's not chair, sí, demasiado fácil. Right, something similar, something parecido, something similar. What is the synonym of sofa? The synonym of sofa, right? Now, this is actually an American word instead of a British word, but we also use it in South Africa. The word is couch. Couch. C-O-U-C-H. Couch. Right? The other word for C, right, is a little pillow that you use on chairs, right? A little pillow that you use on chairs. The word is cushion. Cushion. C-U-S-H C-U-S-H-I-O-N, cushion. Now, please don't get me wrong. I need to make sure I say this correctly. A cushion in Spanish is cojín. And I say it slowly porque de verdad no lo sé cuántos años he vivido ahora en España, pero todavía tengo problemas con cojín, cajón, and cojón. I never remember the difference. Cajón is drawer, and cojín is cushion, and cojón, bueno, otras cosas. Okay, let's go with D. D is also very easy. You use this to enter a room. You use this to enter a room. It's a door, una puerta, door. Okay, right. E is a good one, maybe a new word for you. We use this to plug, enchufar, to plug electronics. Right? We use this to plug in electronics. The word is electric outlet. Electric outlet. Enchufe. All right? Okay, let's go with F. F is a place that you keep your food cold. A place where you keep your food cold. Fridge. Right? Now I know fridge, when you look at the spelling, F-R-I-D-G-E, parece fridge. No, decimos fridge, okay? Nevera or frigorífico. Right, let's go with G. Let's do 2 for G, and they are both places in the house. Number 1, where do you keep your car? Where do you keep your car? In the garage. Now, there is a pronunciation difference. Some people in the UK, in England, they say garage with la emphasis en la primera parte, garage. There are other places like South Africa or other parts of England or America that say garage, con la énfasis en la segunda parte, garage. Pero los dos son iguales, garage or garage. The other word for G is a place where you can spend some time outside. A place in your house where you can spend some time outside. The word is garden, right? Garden. Let's go with H. When you wash your hands, you need this to dry, para secar. You need this to dry your hands. The word is hand towel. Hand towel. So obviously, when we just talk about towels, we usually talk about, para el cuerpo, but hand towel for when you're washing your hands. We can also say face cloth. A face cloth is una mini toallita para la cara, pero no decimos face towel, decimos face cloth. Okay. Right, let's go with I. Now, how do I explain I? The actual explanation is to remove wrinkles. Now, wrinkles are arrugas. I had to think of my face. I was touching my face. I was like, ¿Qué tengo? Tengo arrugas. If you can imagine that clothes have, la ropa tiene arrugas, and we use this machine, this device, this gadget, to straighten, to make it a little bit more professional for your clothes before you wear them. Now, the word in Spanish is plancha, and the verb planchar, obviously, but in English, it's called iron. Iron. The word is I-R-O-N, iron. Parece irón, pero no, decimos iron. Okay, let's do with J. J is something we use in the kitchen to contain water or juice. Something that parecido, similar to a bottle. Something that we use to contain water or juice. And we call it a jar. Una jarra, jar. Or jug. You could also say jug. So jug is J-U-G, jug. Parece jug. But also jar. Yeah, I mean, they look different, but that's not important. Anyway, let's continue. K is very easy. It is the room in which you cook, or the room where you cook, cocinar, which is kitchen, cocina. Okay, I have two for L, and they are very similar, muy parecido. They help you see in the dark. They help you see in the dark. What do you think it is? And they are very similar too. The first one is light, luz, right? The second one is lamp, lámpara, light and lamp. Okay, let's do M. Usually we use this in the kitchen to heat, calentar, to heat food quickly. We use this in the kitchen to heat food quickly. It also starts with M in Spanish. The word is microwave. 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 And in Spanish, microondas. Okay, let's do N. In the bedroom, this sits next to your bed. It's like a little mini table next to your bed. In English, it's called a nightstand. In Spanish, mesita de noche. But in English, don't tell Aurelia, ¿por qué stand? I don't know, porque sí. Nightstand. O, let's do O. We use this to bake food. You want to bake a cake, you want to do an asado, to make a roast, you need this. In Spanish, horno. And in English, oven. Now, decimos oven con A, pero realmente se escribe con O. O-V-E-N. Oven. Pero decimos oven. Oven. Okay, let's go with P. P is on your bed. You need this to put your head. You don't sleep on the colchón. You don't sleep on the mattress. You put your head on this. What is it called? In English, pillow. Pillow. And in Spanish, almohada. Okay. Q is a very interesting one. I have never seen one in Spain. Usually the abuelas make this. It is a special type of blanket. Now, not knitted, tejado no. It's little pieces of material that are sewn together. Sewn is, bueno, no recuerdo qué son. Like stitched together, puntitos juntos. And then they make a big blanket. In English, quilt. Quilt. They are very popular in England and America and South Africa. Maybe in Spain as well. I don't know. You guys can tell me if anyone in your family has a quilt. Now, quilt is Q-U-I-L-T. Quilt. And in Spanish, I have here two words. You can tell me which one is the correct. Colcha or edredón fino. Does that sound familiar? ¿Te suena estas palabras? Let me know. Okay. Let's go with R. Now, R is a bit of a trampa because it's, what is the word habitación in English? Habitación in English is room, all right? But let's talk about different places in the house, so different rooms, right? We have living room, dining room. Now, what's the difference between the dining room and the living room? The living room is usually where you relax, where you watch TV, where you play board games. Dining room in the past was only for eating. You had a big table and it was more formal. The living room was for everyday activities, everyday living. In contrast to the dining room that was usually for special occasions. But now houses have a mix. People connect the living room and the dining room into one place. But in the past, they were separated. Okay, let's do S. If you know the word S, bueno, I would give you a sticker, una pegatina. Me encanta dar las pegatinas en la clase. So let's see if you deserve, si mereces, a pegatina. This is the place where you wash dishes. This is the place where you wash dishes. Bueno, where you wash your hands. In the bathroom, where you wash your hands. And in the kitchen, where you wash dishes. In Spanish, I think they are different words. But in English, we only have one. Okay. In Spanish, it's fregadero and lavabo. But in English, sink. Sink. S-I-N-K. Sink. Okay. Right. Let's go with tea. Tea is pretty easy. You can guess. Puedes adivinar. You can guess what is tea. What do you think? Okay, let me give you a clue. This is a piece of furniture that you put things on top. Sometimes you eat here. Sometimes you study on this thing. What is it? Obviously, a table. Una mesa, a table. I often hear people say table, especially if they're not in an academy and solo ves las palabras. No decimos table, decimos table. Okay, let's go with you. You is actually kind of más o menos parecido to nightstand. All right? Stand is levantar. All right? So I guess you could say that stand is cosas que puedes poner encima de eso, más o menos. Because we say nightstand. Then we say, no, decimos coat rack. Perchero is coat rack. Bueno, let's look. A place where you can keep, guardar, your umbrellas. Where can you keep your umbrellas? All right? In English, it's called an umbrella stand. People don't buy umbrella stands in 2026. For example, in the academy, we use one of the bins. Usamos una basura, vaciamos la basura y ponemos las paraguas dentro. Y funciona. But a lot of the time in the past, especially in places like England, where it rains a lot, you can have an umbrella stand. Okay, guys, we are nearly finished. Are you ready for V? V, la V, V. This machine cleans the floor. This machine cleans the floor. Okay? It is called a vacuum. Vacuum. V-A-C-U-U-M. Vacuum. Una aspiradora. I wanted to say aspirador, but I don't know if there's a difference between aspirador and aspiradora. Dora. Sometimes my accents in Spanish, I can't do the R, you know? Bueno, poco a poco. I poco a poco Spanish and you poco a poco English. And poco a poco juntos. Okay, let's look at W. W is essential, an important part of the house. Again, maybe you can guess. Quizás puedes adivinar este. Right. What do we need to bring sunshine or to bring light into a house? What do we need? A window. Una ventana. Window. Right. X is also a bit of a trampa. So let me explain that there's not a lot of things in the house that start with X. But for sure, if you have children, usually one of the first presents, el primer regalos que tienen los bebés, is this very noisy, ruidoso toy. Can you imagine? It starts with X in Spanish as well. Xylophone. Xylophone. Xylofono, xylofono, xylophone. I know it starts with X, right? Por ejemplo, decimos Xbox. But X in English, we don't say xylophone. So we just say xylophone. Two more, everybody. Two more. Right. Y is a synonym of garden. It is the American word for garden. Do you know what it is? The word is yard. Yard. Y-A-R-D. Yard. Okay. And that is un patio. Bueno, a garden. Una jardín. Un jardín. Una jardín. I don't know. Right. Final one. Z or Z. Some people say Z. Some people say Z. They are both correct. I say Z. Sometimes I say sie, no lo sé. Now, you usually find this on clothes or sometimes on pillows, en las almohadas or cojines. Right? This is called a zipper. Zipper. Z-I-P-P-E-R. Zipper. Now, in Spanish, I have never seen this word. Cremallera. Cremallera. Right? Is that what you use on jackets? En vez de botones, tienes cremallera? Okay, guys, that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed playing Pasapalabra with me. I really enjoyed it. And hopefully I will speak to you guys soon. Please remember that if you need any practice with speaking, you can go onto our website and book, puedes reservar classes or speaking classes with me or one of the other teachers of the way. And also también tienes un descuento de 20%. You have a discount of 20% if you use the discount from the podcast. It's like a secret discount, un secreto de descuento. Se llama POD20. P-O-D como podcast 2020. POD20. Right, everybody, that's it, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.
Si disfrutaste de este episodio y quieres llevar tu inglés al siguiente nivel, te invitamos a descubrir nuestros cursos online en theway.es, diseñados para mejorar tu fluidez y confianza en situaciones reales. Hemos ayudado a miles de personas como tú a transformar su aprendizaje. Visita ahora theway.es y realiza nuestro test de nivel interactivo de manera gratuita. Además, si necesitas una certificación oficial, también ofrecemos la opción de realizar el examen de Mid-Third cómodamente desde casa.